organizer for today's Chicago Tea Party. John, let's start with you. What are you protesting? Are you protesting high taxes? Are you protesting the bailout? Are you protesting Wall Street? Are you protesting just in general the Obama administration? All of the above? Specifically, what are you protesting?
Great question, Mike. Much like the people that make up this grassroots movement, the problems people have are broad. There's no one particular bill or one particular politician that people have a grievance with. It's a general expansion of the federal government and the state and local governments and overspending.
Congressman Pence, you have consistently been opposed to government spending, more government spending. So I'd like to ask you, isn't it somewhat, well, not inconsistent, but somewhat odd that today we have this big protest coast to coast? Why not a protest last year or the year before? Government spending has been on the increase for several years now.
Well, you know, I think it's a fair question, Mike, but candidly, now I know how the old settlers back in the West felt when the cavalry came riding over the hill. Those of us that have been fighting against deficit spending, the growth of government over much of the last decade under Republican administrations and continuing to fight it under a Democrat administration are heartened to see people like John stepping forward. Millions of people across this country today that know we can't borrow and spend and bail our way back to a growing America. And this grassroots movement, there's a rally going on here in Indianapolis as we speak. I'm headed down to the small town I grew up in, Columbus, Indiana, for a rally at a park later tonight. It really is a movement by Americans who are deeply concerned about the enormous weight of debt we're putting on our children and grandchildren and the inevitability of tax increases that will follow.
Well, you know, look, I agree with you. I think anytime you get citizens involved in almost anything, it's a good thing. And yet this growth in government spending did not start at noontime this past January 20th. So again, the question is, why now? Why this year? Why not last year or the year before? I mean, the Bush administration ran up huge deficits, very un-Republican-like deficits.
Well, as I said, I think it's a fair question. You know, when I came out against the Wall Street bailout last fall, I thought I'd be in a distinct minority in the Congress. And then in 1 week, Mike, after I came out against it and a majority of House Republicans opposed our own president on the Wall Street bailout, I got 10,000 emails in 5 days, and that's just what got through. You'd have to ask John, who's one of the leaders of this grassroots movement in the country, what motivated him. But I really think something happened last fall when the American people saw the prior administration and the Democrat Congress willing to get out our grandchildren's credit cards and bail out bad decisions on Wall Street, and the stimulus bill and the budget that was just passed are all just adding steam to that anxiety.
There you go, John. It's teed up for you. What's your response?
Mike, you're absolutely right. This didn't start on January 20th, and Congressman Pence hit the nail on the head. It started last year. Some Republicans lost their way. The previous administration started this bailout nonsense, but it's been boiling up. We've seen the deficit triple in just 3 months into President Obama's administration, and it's been boiling up in people, and people are sick and tired of it. It just happens to have happened, gotten to a boiling point under a Democratic administration.
So, John, I mean, you know, clearly you're a young guy. I mean, I can see you on TV. You're a young guy. What got you actively involved in this? Give me a little bit about your background. Who are you, and why are you involved in this?
Absolutely. I work at a free market think tank, the Heartland Institute here in Chicago. In my spare time on weekends and nights leading up to the February 27th Tea Parties, my good friend J.P. Frere, who's been on this network at the American Spectator, invited me and asked me if I could help him get some momentum going behind having a tea party in front of the White House. We did. We had over 300 people show up. And there were concurrent tea parties across the country on that day. And ever since then, you had thousands come out in Orlando, Cincinnati, and then today in Chicago, we had over 5,000 and many, many, many more in cities across the country.